The rain drizzled softly over London, the grey skies stretching endlessly as Emily hurried down the cobbled streets. Her coat pulled tightly around her. She was late. Again. But this time it wasn't just work on her mind. The little secret, growing inside her, the one she hadn't even fully processed yet, made every step feel heavier. She was pregnant. The word still sent a shiver down her spine. Equal parts fear and wonder. She hadn't planned this. The father, Mark, had been a fleeting romance. A charming artist who had already moved on to his next muse. She hadn't told him. Why bother? He wouldn't care. She'd do this alone, just like she'd done everything else. The thought was terrifying, but she clenched her fists and kept walking. The bookshop where she worked was just around the corner, its warm glow a small comfort in the dreary morning. She pushed the door open, the bell jingling softly, and was met with the familiar scent of old paper and coffee. Her boss, Mrs. Higgins, gave her a knowing look, but said nothing. Emily smiled weakly and got to work, shelving books and helping the occasional customer. The hours passed in a blur, her mind drifting back to the tiny life inside her. What would it be like? Would she be enough? The doubts gnawed at her, but she pushed them aside. She had to be strong. That evening, exhausted, she decided to take the long way home, needing the fresh air to clear her head. The park was quiet, the last of the autumn leaves clinging to the trees. She sat on a bench, rubbing her still flat stomach absent-mindedly. "You and me, kid," she whispered. A sudden wave of dizziness hit her, the world tilting dangerously. She gripped the bench, her vision blurring. Then strong hands were on her shoulders, steadying her. "Hey, are you all right?" a deep voice asked. She blinked up at the stranger, a tall man with warm brown eyes and a concerned frown. I think so," she mumbled, embarrassed. Just stood up too fast. He didn't look convinced, but helped her sit back down. "You're pale. Have you eaten today?" She hadn't, not properly. The nausea had been relentless. "I'll be fine," she insisted, but he was already pulling a granola bar from his coat. "Eat this. Low blood sugar is no joke." She took it reluctantly, surprised by his kindness. "Thank you." "James," he supplied. "Emily," she replied. They sat in silence for a moment before he spoke again. "Do you need help getting home?" "I don't mind walking you." She should have said no, but something about his calm presence made her nod. "That'd be nice." As they walked, James kept a respectful distance, but stayed alert, as if ready to catch her if she stumbled again. He didn't pry, just made small talk about the weather in the city. Emily found herself relaxing, even laughing at a dry joke he made. When they reached her flat, she hesitated. "Thanks for this. You didn't have to." He shrugged. "I couldn't just leave you." There was something in his eyes, loneliness maybe, that mirrored her own. She almost invited him in, but stopped herself. Too soon. Too risky. "Well, good night, James." He smiled. "Good night, Emily. Take care of yourself." She watched him walk away, an odd warmth settling in her chest. The next few weeks passed in a haze of morning sickness and work. She didn't see James again, though she caught herself glancing at park benches, half hoping he'd be there. Then, one rainy afternoon, fate intervened. She was browsing a market for ginger tea, the only thing that helped the nausea, when she bumped into someone. Sorry, oh, it was him. James looked just as surprised. "Emily," he smiled. "Feeling better?" She nodded, suddenly shy. "Yeah, thanks to your granola bar heroics." He chuckled, and they fell into easy conversation. He was an architect, he told her, and loved old bookshops. She admitted she worked in one. "No wonder you seem so at home around books," he said. They talked for an hour, the rain forgotten. When it was time to go, he hesitated. "Would you like to have coffee sometime?" Her heart skipped. She should say no. She had too much going on. But then she thought of the long nights ahead. The loneliness. I'd like that. Their first date was simple. A quiet cafe, warm drinks, and stories. James was easy to talk to, his quiet humor putting her at ease. She didn't mention the pregnancy. Not yet. But as weeks passed and they saw more of each other, she knew she had to tell him. One evening, as they walked along the Thames, she took a deep breath. "James, there's something I need to tell you." He stopped, sensing her seriousness. "What is it?" She looked down at her hands, now slightly rounded at her belly. "I'm pregnant." The words hung between them. She braced for rejection, but instead, he gently took her hand. "Thank you for telling me." No anger, no judgment, just quiet understanding. "Are you okay?" she asked, stunned. He nodded. "If you'll let me, I'd like to be there for you. However you need." Tears pricked her eyes. She hadn't realized how much she'd needed to hear that. From then on, James became her rock. He came to doctor's appointments, held her hair back when morning sickness struck, and rubbed her feet when they ached. With him, she didn't feel so alone. One night, as they lay on her couch, his hand resting lightly on her stomach, he whispered, "I can't wait to meet them." Her heart swelled. This wasn't what she'd planned, but maybe, just maybe, it was something better.